Oh, man, that's unfortunate. This is the problem of doing it live, guys.
I think it's awesome.
All right.
This is how we do it live.
I'm here with my esteemed panelist, and I'm sure they can attest that intro was fantastic. You all just missed it, though. So please clap. Thank you. Guys, this is our season prediction special. We're coming to you live. As you can tell, there may be some hiccups from time to time. And I've, of course, been joined by today. We have our esteemed panelists. No guests today, only business, because this is the prediction special. First, let's start it out right above me. I got Ryokai coming at you.
Hello.
Awesome. Now, right up here, I think it's up here, we got Mongoose.
I want them just to play the intro vid again. I'm pretty hyped on it.
At least they had sound for that.
They did.
Yeah. And then coming to my right, I have Slexia, the fabulous, the one and only. Yes.
Hello, and thanks for... I don't even have to say thanks for having me, because now I'm like not just a guest.
You're full timer.
Hi.
She's family.
Hi.
That's right.
There we go.
That intro video with all of the logos was so like primal sounding. It was like intense drums and like noises. It was like, wow.
Very guttural.
Yeah, it was really just, I mean, I'm ready.
All right, guys. So I know I see a lot of people in chat that I recognize. So a lot of you know what this is, but for those of you that don't, this is, of course, Nexus Edge. It's a show that highlights some of the players, teams, casters, all of those people in NGS and what makes NGS great. And with that, I think why don't we introduce ourselves a little bit for those that don't know. I'll start it out. I'm Turd Herder. I am of the Nexus Cats. I'm actually playing main roster this season, which is different than last season. And yeah, that's about it. Nothing else for me. So Ryokai, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
I'm Ryokai. I play on Team Rewind. We won Deve last season, so looking to make our mark in Heroic now, moving up. And I play range DPS. And yeah, that's it for me.
Very nice. Slexia, for those that don't know your esteemed record, why don't you tell them who you are?
Hi, I'm Slexia. I don't play in any teams or on any teams because I'm a bad team member, but I am a part of NGS as a caster and now on Nexus Edge. I also do a show with Weenus, who is in NGS called Cheer 69. And I'm just here for the colorful commentary to add some spice to this show.
And talk about the colorful logos specifically.
Specifically, I had a few that I'll visit maybe at another time. I had some questions about the specific placing of like pool noodles, I think.
It's something we'll never quite know, I don't think. But on that topic, on things we will know about, Mongoose, why don't you give it to us straight? Introduce yourself.
I'm Mongoose. I'm on the NGS staff. Also filling for you guys here a couple episodes last season, and we'll pop around from time to time this season as well. And starting this season, I'm playing with Tap That, a new team. So debut Friday, being casted by headcaster Arrow, I believe. And that's it.
Very nice.
Where did that name come from? I'm sorry, I have a question. Tap That. Tell me.
Which name?
Tap That.
I have no idea.
Not from the song? Is it about like the well? Wow.
Not a clue. I just work here.
I believe it has to do with collecting maple syrup.
Naturally.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
Again, another obvious thing, and here we are,
Yeah. People
overanalyzing.
It's got the little spigot and everything,
Oh, no, I didn't notice that logo. Rip.
Anyways, guys, before we get into the brass tacks of things here and get into what I know you guys are all here for, the prediction special, I do want to take a quick minute and remind everyone that we do have a NGS Patreon. That's, of course, at patreon.com/heroes nexus gaming series.com. No, No, I said
Oh,
the
so
.com.
close.
I know.
You were so
Whatever.
close to getting it right the first time this season.
No. Well, you know what? It's only up from here, guys. It's only up from here. So you guys, we'll post the link so you guys all have that. But importantly, the Patreon goes to support the website, support NGS itself. There's some cool swag if you decide to become a supporter through Patreon. Definitely, yeah, Ryokai with the assist. Thank you very much, sir. Definitely something you should strongly consider participating in. If you can't do that, you can always throw the NGS Twitch a subscribe, throw some bits our way. We're not going to say no. And if you can't do that, please join us on our Discord, follow us on Twitch. That's how you're going to stay most up to date with what's happening, what games are being casted, what's happening with Nexus Edge. So go ahead and do that. Slexia with the 69 bits. Start it off.
Yes.
So there we go. Starting off the bits with a strong 69 number this season. So there we go. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, lastly, since we are live, we can field questions directly from the viewers. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Arthur is going to be collecting them for us, and then he'll hopefully post the good ones so we can ask later on. If you have any specific questions for maybe Mongoose, he was a guy who handled placements this season. Maybe you have a question.
And Ryokai, you can blame him.
Well, this season,
yeah,
Too,
blame
this
both
season.
you guys.
That's right.
So if maybe you're a Div D team and you're saying, why wasn't I placed in Heroic? This is unfair. Those would be the guys to ask. So go ahead and ask them your question. You can ask about Cheer 69 Dyslexia, or maybe what her favorite logo is. Who knows? She'll hopefully answer that question. Very interesting. TT Porky starting us out hot with, why is Ryokai not in Division D? Interesting question.
Yeah,
We'll find
we're
an answer out later.
very big-headed, so clearly belong in Heroic, even though our skills demonstrate the opposite.
Yeah, 8,000 IQ for sure. The answer might surprise you. Anyways, guys, here's what we're all here for. It's our NGS Power Rankings. That's right, guys. Episode 1, we're going to start it out hot. We're going to do the Power Rankings for all of the divisions. It's more or less just predicting, but we're doing Power Rankings. We're starting it out hot. So, without further ado, let us start it out with Ryokai on Heroic.
All right. So first, just like preliminary, whatever disclaimer, sure. I ranked this as like my prediction of what the seeds would be going into playoffs. So like I'm not predicting the power of like teams right now. I'm like predicting like what they will be like 9 weeks from now. Hopefully that makes sense. That's just how my brain did it. Anyway, so at number 1, I've got Perfect Gems. They beat us in the Division S qualifier like a week or 2 ago. They're a good team, I think, full of solid players. They're made of like some people of Amazing and possibly Keanu Reeves. I don't remember exactly, but anyway, players who played in Heroic last season and did pretty well. So I think currently they're going to be the team to beat. I think they'll probably end up being the number 1 seed. Number 2, I'm going to put my team Rewind. I think we're probably not at the number 2 spot right now, but by the end of the season, I'm hoping we'll get up there. Choosing to be optimistic, we'll go with that. Number 3, I've got Anti-Clown Association. We've also played against them and lost to them in the Division S qualifiers. They're also a solid team made of, that's most of the Keanu Reeves roster. And also, solid team, did well in Heroic last season, so I expect they'll do well this season. Number 4, I've got Regen. This team also has a few Heroic players from previous seasons, but also some newer players to, not really to like coordinated, but at least to NGS. And I think the team itself might not have as much synergy just yet, so I'm putting them at number 4 for now. Number 5, I had Archon. They did pretty well in NGS last season, and I don't really think they'll be a top team, but I think they'll probably, do solid middle of the pack. And so 5 feels about right for them. Chicken Nuggets, also, I forgot to mention this. I predicted all this before I saw any matches or anything. So I know Chicken Nuggets, I think, upset was it an Anti-Clown Association? I would have to check the schedule real quick.
That's correct. Yeah, that's what they played
correct.
first.
So, already an upset. I'm already wrong, as we would all expect. Everything is going perfect according to plan. So, Chicken Nuggets was my number 6 pick. They're a new team. They're full of like players that I recognize, but a team that I haven't seen play before. Apparently, they're a team from like season 5, Storm Division or something. So,
season 5 Storm Division champions
even. So yeah, I possibly underestimate them. They'll probably move up if they continue to beat some strong teams like ACA, which they've already done. So yeah, shoutouts to them. Number 7, I've got Sky 5. We played them several times last season in Division A. I think they're a strong team. I think Heroic this season got like a lot stronger, not necessarily like at the top end, but more so just like the teams are a lot closer together. Like previously, it's always been like Heroic is split into these chunks, and there's like a gap of separation between some teams. And I don't really think that's the case this season. I think it's going to be pretty close all the way down. So yeah, Sky 5, unfortunately, probably not going to make it too far to the top there, just based on my experience with them last season. But maybe they'll improve and surprise me a bit.
Just throwing a little shade. It's fine.
we beat them, so I gotta throw a little bit of shade.
I get it. It's fine.
But it's shade of love. All right. 8, I've got World Hunger Avoidance team. Also made of some players that have been in NGS season on various different rosters, kind of coming together. I think they'll do pretty solidly, but I do think some of the other teams in Heroic have a fair bit more experience, and I just don't really feel like they'll necessarily mesh together and be able to like coordinate that well. Number 9, I've got TTW, also a team sort of partial Division A players from last season, and they did decently in Division A. I do think their roster is a little bit stronger with some of the like roster changes that they basically split their team, and so I think they'll do all right. Sitting a little bit lower down, but somebody has to be at the bottom, unfortunately. And then at 10, I've got Phoenix Rising Topaz, another team that is not really of any new players. Like most of the players in Heroic have played in NGS before, so I feel like that's part of what makes it such a close division, is that everybody like is pretty similarly experienced, and like you can judge them as all being roughly about equal to a certain extent. And so unfortunately, I have them at the bottom. I think some of the other teams are just going to be able to do a tiny bit better, but somebody has to be there. So that's my Heroic breakdown.
Very nice. What do you overall think about the Heroic division? Do you think that this is an increase in play level, a decrease, staying about the same as compared to last season?
I would say the top end is maybe a tiny bit better, but not by much. But the bottom and mid end, I think, improved a lot.
Got it.
So I think overall, it's like the bottom moved up, but the top didn't move that much, basically.
Understood. Alrighty. All right, guys. So now Slexia and myself and Mongoose are all going to take a chance at rebuttal to the extent that we have any. I personally don't have any. I think Perfect Gems would be my pick for number 1 seed. And I like I'd probably put Chicken Nuggets a little bit higher. I'm a little biased. My coach is on that team. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And as far as best logo and name, it's going to be what? That's World Hunger Avoidance Team. That's Time to Feed. I don't know. I threaten to pick that every time I play Mal'Ganis just because I like the name. Time to Feed. Because that's what I do. So, Slexia, what about you? What are you thinking here?
So I agree to a certain extent. I feel like Region and Anti-Clown Association could possibly take second place depending on your guys' performance, Ryokai. I know that ACA is pretty strong. And Region is coming in strong too. I know Porky's heading that team, and I know he doesn't like to lose. So I'm excited to see what they can bring. I did get the opportunity to cast Perfect Gems this week, as well as Archon. So we can't forget who's on Archon. A lot of Nobo eSprouts players, right?
And I know that's one of your teams.
And they're strong too. So I respect your decision here. It's humble that you put yourself in second, but I feel like there's a lot of competition because it was a 2-1 when it came to the Perfect Gems Archon matchup. So, to go to a game 3, Archon pulled out that W,
Oh, I know. Mongoose, what do you know?
I know. I also picked Perfect Gems to be the early favorite. It's a boring pick, but Fun Buns and Unaverted and Legacy, those are really good players who have been doing this a little while, so it's hard not to pick them.
And those guys won on the team that won Heroic last season, right?
Some of them, Unaverted for sure.
And
Yeah,
Fun
all of
Buns
ours,
was on the
like, in
team
open
too, I
division.
think.
Fun Buns was on God.
Hinting for
Was it
Globes
Amazing?
and
Amazing won.
Reborn.
Yeah, and he was on another team before that. He's been around playing in Heroic forever.
Mhm.
And but yeah, all those teams are good. The team I'm just kind of best logo was Anti-Clown Association because the logo just cracks me up. But the team I want to watch more than who the top is Sky 5. Those guys last season in A, they've been in NGS a long time. They've been in A kind of a long time. They had a really strong season last season in A, and they play a little bit of a different style. So I want to kind of see if that translates to the step up in competition from A to Heroic. So that's going to be the kind of team that I'm going to be keeping a little eyeball on, see how those guys do.
Very nice. Slexia, I don't know if I got best team name / logo from you.
Oh, I do like Perfect Gems. It's just a simple, what is it? A red gem from Deckard Cain with a drawn smiley on it.
Yeah.
That's the best logo to me. Best name? Yeah, I don't know.
There's not.
Perfect
There's
Gems.
not
Because it's ironic.
Yeah, because it's an imperfectly drawn gem.
It's just, I think of the players themselves and who's on the team and how, perfect little gems. These people. That's why it's funny.
Very nice. All right. I think without much more to be said here, and I know we got a couple heroic people in chat, so hello. Let's move on to Division A. And I think this is also Ryokai.
Correct. So,
Yeah.
despite me moving on to greener pastures, I still hold Div A very close to my heart. So, number 1 in Div A, I'm picking Virtual Murky Slayers. They are coming back, bringing the band back together. They didn't play in Season 7. Veggies played on Gilly Shark. They were pretty much top of Div A. I think these guys are pretty strong. They won Div B pretty solidly, and I expect them to do well, and I think they're going to be the team to beat. So they're my pick for number 1. Number 2, I've got Deathwing's Hookah Lounge. This is not who I'm thinking. It's somebody else. 1 second. I'm pulling up the placements thing to remind me on some of these things, actually, because I'm forgetting now.
This is the team that was Lion Speed, I believe, with Star Fox and Bigwiz last.
Yes, that's correct. Lion Speed. Okay, I was thinking they were Hodis for a second. Yeah, it's Lion Speed. So they were probably the 3rd best team in my estimation or maybe 4th in Div A last season. So with us and Sky 5 now moving up, I think they're just going to kind of move up as a result, because they're not going to be like pushed down as much by us beating them. Like, I don't know.
Now, here's a quick question I want to interject. Sure. Are they going to play Deathwing this season?
I hope so. Like, I feel like you're like contractually obligated to. Like,
if you have a team if you have a player or a hero in your name, you have to play them.
Yep,
that's in the rules somewhere for sure. Yeah,
I expect 100% pick ban on Deathwing.
Sorry for the distraction. Continue.
No, it's all good. Terry's Crew is my pick at number 3. This is I believe Cubico and Shredded Wind from BXA that played last season. They're playing with a couple friends. They said they're not going to take it as seriously, but they're good enough players that I still expect them to do pretty well. So I'm going to put them as number 3, even if they're quote unquote like not tryharding, but I think they'll still probably do pretty well. Although they might throw a couple games in the fun of things, which is all that we could ask for. Number 4, I'm going to have Dread Pirates. They are dropping down from Heroic. Like I said, I think overall the level of Heroic especially the bottom, like raised up a little bit. So Dread Pirates wasn't doing too well in Heroic, dropping down. I think they'll do pretty solidly in Div A. They won Div A in Season 6, I think. Or was that... no, they won. Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
And like I think Div A and Heroic have both gotten better since then, so I don't expect that they'll just win Div A anymore. I think they'll fight among the top-ish spots, but I don't think they'll like dominate Div A or anything, having been an ex-Heroic team. So they're my pick for number 4. Holzma Halfwits, they also had a pretty solid season in Div A last season, just slightly below kind of the Lion Speed Sky 5 range there. And so I think that's about where they'll probably sit this season, with a couple other teams coming back or above them from Heroic moving down or something. 6 is Goodbye Forever. So I played this team ages ago on my college team, actually, that I'm wearing the logo of now that I'm thinking of about it. And they were, back then, probably like a Div B team, but that was like 2 years ago or something. So they've probably gotten better, because I've gotten better. And I don't really know how they'll do. So I'm putting them at number 6 as kind of just like a middle of the road, like they could be higher, they could be lower. I don't know. I'm kind of like, they're definitely a question mark, maybe a dark horse kind of pick that I'm curious to see how they'll do in Div A. Team Happy Cloud, also from Div A last season, they were a little bit towards the bottom. Go ahead.
No, that is 100% correct.
Okay, you're just helping me remember. It's good. Feel like I've got my footing now, so I'm doing good. Team Happy Cloud, they actually gave us some of the tougher games that we had in Div A. So even though they were more towards the bottom of the standings, I don't know if they just like found a second wind in like the later half of the season when we played them, or if they just like improved or got a coach or something. I don't know what the story is, but I think they looked to be stronger than you would have thought at the end of last season, and so I think they'll do maybe a little bit better this season. Like I said, Div A also I think has generally gotten stronger and a lot closer from the top and bottom. So I still think they'll be more of a mid-range team, not quite towards the top, but they're also maybe a dark horse pick for me. Number 8, Regen Retro. They played last season. They didn't do too hot. They're going to unfortunately be more towards the bottom, but maybe they'll turn it around. I don't know. Minion Miners, moving up from Div B. They did pretty well. Unfortunately, I think some of the Div A teams are probably still going to be generally stronger. So
Right.
I'm going to leave them more towards the bottom, and that's true of most of the other Div B teams, as we'll get to, or as you can see. But, I think probably at least one of these lower teams will surprise me, so I don't know which one it'll be. I kind of just have to, like, clump them all down there because they're all very similar, and it's hard for me to judge any one of them as being, like, the exception to the rest.
Right.
So 10th, I've got Beast Coast. They also did pretty well in Div B last season. Their players are really strong. I think if they become like a more disciplined, like strong, cohesive, like team or whatever, they could even possibly move all the way up to Heroic. So they could be like a Rewind type of team that just suddenly stomps the division out of nowhere if they've been like practicing really hard in the off season. I guess this is a good time to mention the XP changes probably also like throw a lot of stuff of this potentially out of whack, where a team that was strong last season might not be, and a new team that we have no idea suddenly is really strong just because they figure it out. I don't know. That's a big question mark that I'm just not gonna try and figure out because I would be completely guessing. Number 11, Phoenix Rising Diamond, also made of some good players that played, I think, in mostly Div A and Div B. So I think they'll be around the low Div A range if they're playing in Div A, but I think they would be probably at the top of B if we had placed them there. So unfortunately, that's what it looks like for them. 12, Tickle Me Death Star. I believe we have them moving up from Div D, actually, from last season.
C
to Div A. Yeah, that's right. So they like skipped the
Div
division.
B would be a jump, man.
Yeah, that would be a really big jump. We probably wouldn't have done that. So I hope they do better than my prediction here. Like, that would be cool to see. I do think they're pretty good players. Div A might be a tad too high for them. I don't know. So I'm kind of leaving them towards the bottom for now, just because going from C to A is like a really big difference that if you're not like ready for that and you can't adapt to it, you're probably going to have some struggles. So
right. Well,
hopefully...
and historically teams that have made that jump
struggle.
struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it's not even
is understandable,
It's not,
so-
it's not even a reflection on the team. Just traditionally, teams that make that 2 division jump struggle.
It's more so just like you have to get comfortable of the
Right.
level that you're playing against, sort of, and it
Right.
takes some time. So they might struggle early in the season. Hopefully they can pull things around by the end of the season, but I don't know. That remains to be seen. 13, main tank Uther. So we actually scrimmed this team. I'm not going to go into the results of that scrim or anything to like hide it or not whatever, spoil anything or whatever. Obviously, like scrims are kind of secretive or whatever.
Right.
But I placed this team before we had scrimmed them also. They're a really interesting team, is what I'll say. I'm not... They're like a complete giant question mark. Like, they could be 1, they could be 13. I have no idea. It's a new-ish team. Some of the players have played in NGS before, but
I recognize a couple of these people, yeah.
the combination of them together is new, and I really just don't know with them. Like, I really... Like, you would think scrimming them, I would be able to better assess where they would belong, but I actually just have no clue. So, unfortunately, I had them preliminary placed at 13 here, just because they were a newer team, and I didn't think they were as strong as some of these other teams, but they could surprise me. I have no clue. So, yeah, that's my story with them.
Perfect. And before we move on, I do want to give a quick shout out. Mark Zombie with the Twitch subscription. Thank you, buddy. We certainly appreciate it. And if there's anyone out there that, I don't know, feels so inclined to, subscribe, that'd be cool, I guess. Be kind of cool. Yeah, a little cool. So let's move on. Slexia.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your real pick? Favorite name, favorite logo. Go.
What? Okay.
Pick what team is going to win for realsies.
Okay. Dread Pirates is gonna win.
Because those are your boys, right?
Okay. I mean, I've just followed them closely. I feel like they are consistent. Like, it's their time, you
Right.
know? They actually already did win Division A in retrospect, thinking back. Never mind, it's been their time. Give someone else a chance, Dread Pirates.
Yeah, quit hogging it all, man.
Never mind. I remember casting that grand final when they won against Queen's Consorts. Moving on, I'll just go to logo and name. Virtual Murky Slayers is my favorite logo in the league.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who's their artist? You know, take my life savings.
Yes.
Give me stuff.
I want
with that.
I want products with this on it.
Absolutely.
I need
Pins,
a mug.
coffee mugs. Exactly. Coffee mugs, a lanyard with all of the various neon colors.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I answered all the questions. I don't know.
Ziltoid in chat, of course, another one of our panelists. He says, I picked Murky Slayers, so of course it must be true. So
you pick the logo. Cool. I'm just kidding.
I also picked Virtual Murky Slayers for their logo. That's a given. That is
I know.
If you show me a Virtual Murky Slayers logo, I'm going to pick it. 100%.
Right. Wholesome Halfwits has a good logo too, but I mean, nothing compared to Virtual Murky Slayer.
Definitely. And favorite team name, if you got one?
I don't. Goodbye Forever. I like it.
All right, that was so. They're my second favorite logo, and they're also my favorite.
Oh, there it is! Oh my god!
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's right there for everyone to see.
I mean, I could do a whole episode on that.
There's a lot there. Anyways, yeah. Goodbye Forever. Great team name. Second place in logo. Something about just an emoji. It's real simple with Goodbye Forever. You know, it's good. Real good. Mongoose. Give it to me straight. What's
short and sweet?
Got it. Go.
I got Dread Pirates to win. They won A last time they were here. They had their moments in Heroic last season, although they struggled in the entirety of the season. But they had their moments. They took some maps here and there. So coming back down, I expect them to make a strong showing. However, I will say of all the divisions I looked at where I have a lot of familiarity with the teams, I think Division A is pretty wide open. Honestly, there's a lot of teams that could jump up and take it. Favorite team name, Tickle Me Tassadar. Favorite team logo, Team Happy Clap.
Easy peasy. All right, guys, that's it for Division A. Let us know what you think about that, and of course, drop any questions. Maybe, hey, Slexia, why do you think Virtual Murky Slayer logo is so cool, despite it being obviously the best? That would be a really good question to ask Slexia.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. So very nice. Speaking of Slexia, you're up next.
I am. So I put no work into the analytics of this show, and I am just hand fed anything I have to share. So, with
You would
that
expect nothing
being
less.
said, it's the closest thing to a cabana boy I can get around here. With that being said, I have the power rankings for Division B.
Also, I do want to shout out this production value is simply incredible.
Absolutely. Cropping images as I speak. I'm taking my gum out of my mouth, by the way. Here it is, selling it on eBay. Just kidding.
It's the next level
yeah.
of gamer girl bathwater.
Slexia gum is
I can't
not
call for
really
an editor
that.
now, can I? Can we edit that out? Yeah. Oh no.
So Ziltoid provided these, right?
Yes, Ziltoid is the man behind the curtain, so to speak, with the rankings here.
So I'm going to read verbatim what he put next to it. I don't have a Ziltoid impression, so it's just going to be me. B East, number 1, indecisive scrubs is what he chooses here, saying in HOTUS or HOTUS?
Heroes of the United States.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Like, how am I supposed to know that?
The team formerly known as.
Whatever. I mean, come on.
Are they?
Come on. If I'm
three
reading
of
something,
them.
spell it out. Put a little asterisk at the bottom, at least tell me what it means here. Heroes of the United States we trust.
Real quick. These are
Keys comments.
Yes.
So perfect.
Our head researcher. Sorry.
And he thought he was going to go under the radar, like, hey, I'm not the one saying this.
Yeah, no, we're throwing Key under the bus. Yeah.
These are his comments. And
you got props.
Heroes of the United States we trust.
Key. Correct.
And they always start slow. Dash key. Number 2, Region Phoenix. A competitive group which should exceed last season's 9th place finish. So, I think I agree there. Look at this live editing. I am watching this and speaking, and I'm losing my mind.
The cliffhanger of revealing each one.
I know.
Amazing.
3rd place, Jailbait. Same as season 7, so can crack top 3. Whatever that means. Number 4, Demonic Entity Within. Love the name. Potential dark horse for the season is the comment there. Wow.
Can I vote them as edge horse of the season?
Potential edge horse.
He said the word.
That's like a triple entendre.
What? I am reading it verbatim, Arthanel. What do you want me to do? Use my mental thesaurus as I read it in real time?
Apparently there was at least one that you're not supposed to read.
I think you'll know when you come across it, but if not,
Salt Scale Murgles. A few returning Div B players who should be able to put up some good games.
I just read it.
Okay, I can't wait to get to it. Moving on. Number 6, Party Time. All right, I have to read these before I even say them now.
Yeah.
It's not till B West.
Most
so you got
likely going to finish around the same as last season, where were they last season? 6, because that's where the power ranking is. 7, Bread Rising Yeast Sports. That almost made me vomit reading it. The back of my tongue is now dry. Yikes. Okay. I'm not even going to read that one too. I'm not reading that.
Good call.
Phoenix Rising Ruby is down here at 8. Recognize a few names, but we're going to have to wait to see their games. So Phoenix Rising is a new organization. They have all the gems attached to them. You know what I mean? So it's like Phoenix Rising, Pearl. I'm making up gems they don't have. Hold on. Where are we at here? There is Topaz, huh? Topaz isn't an actual gem. Okay. side topic. I know you
Oh,
guys
yes.
are like, come on.
Slexia is heated on this topic.
Have you ever seen the movie Gigi? It's like a French movie. It's like
Uh,
Gigi. There's this really
don't-
pretentious grandma,
I
and
don't watch French movies. I'm not gonna lie.
and she's teaching Gigi about the gems, and Gigi's like, oh, a topaz, and the grandma goes, a topaz among my jewels, because it's like, not that great of a gem. So anyway, enough about that side story. Skiggly's Wigglies at number 9. That's what he has ranked.
They're an okay team, guys.
Tiny Dancers at 10. And I think that, they've got some proving to do from what I can tell from these notes.
I did like that pun, though. Key says they need to prove themselves before they can dance with the big boys.
Yeah.
I mean, get it?
Dancers.
Dancers.
Oh, that is a pun. You're right. Which is why my brain just eclipsed the idea of even reading it aloud.
Key's actually here. Key, do you just want us to read all? I mean, we could just read these.
Fine, Key. Here we go. Want to get outed? Someone create an email address so they can send hate mail directly to Key.
Makes sense.
All right. Boogan Squad at 11. 2 seasons removed from Div D. If they can just keep up, that will be a win.
Spicy.
You like it? You like?
As these are getting lower to the bottom, these are getting spicier.
Number 12, Chaos of the Walking Dragon. Watched their week 1 game. Didn't impress at all.
Ouch.
Is that okay? You want me to keep going? That is it for B East. Let's move along to B West, or as I like to say, Brightwing, because I see BW and just think Brightwing.
Good enough for me.
All right. So, number 1, who is it? You are not alone. Can someone cue the Michael Jackson music? No, it'll get censored. So, comment, could have been Div A. So early season favorite for sure. With the U, Key, are you European?
He did spell. Answer. He spelled favorite. F-A-V-O-U-R-I-T-E.
Fancy.
Oh, fancy him. Fancy little mean man behind computer puts notes for me to read in front of everyone. Soak every lane. In number 2, returning team with the core intact for a few seasons now. Synergy counts. All right. Number 3, Who Knows Gaming. Looking to make the next jump after first season in NGS. That one was not spicy enough. Key, if I'm going to read what you say.
Keep going.
You know what I mean? Number 4, Phoenix Rising Onyx. Ooh, an Onyx. I actually have an Onyx ring on. What does it say? A group of players who've been playing together for a while.
Makes sense.
Number 5, Lurk Patrol. Ran through Div C last season. Could rise to the occasion. Whatever that means. All right. Deviled Kigs at number 6. Too much memes and toxicity. No chance of repeating as champion.
That's what Key has to say on this.
That's a call out.
I just stopped there. No, just kidding. Where were we?
Let it pause.
And here we go. It only gets more spicy from here. Roll One Esports at number 7. Go ahead and read it, turd.
Oh, this
we're just pawning it off.
Key states the definition of mediocrity. Roll One Esports.
You hate to read it.
You hate to read it, but
Not
I did
even
it. This is for content with a capital C.
And
so,
in number 8, Feigned Competence. No idea who they are. Sounds about right.
He's clever. He's good.
My God, him. Key, are we best friends now? Because I actually wish I had the
to roast
to
every
say.
team.
You know what I mean? Number 9, Spooky Ghost's favorite name. I'm already going to that question right here. Spooky Ghosts. Number 9, looking to try and hang on for another season. You hate to, I guess, predict such things. Necro Finn Murgles at number 10. New team with a mix of veteran players. Can they perform, though?
Wait, isn't Key on Necrofilm? No, he's in their org.
He's on a different Murgles.
Different Murgle.
So he's just straight up
confusing your Murgles.
Sorry, you're right. But he's just straight up like friendly firing here.
Can they perform though?
Yeah, he knows better.
I mean, if you're gonna burn somebody, you burn everybody equally. Scorched earth, just you lay it all out.
Yeah, he's doing it, man.
Like Deathwing's ult that looks like a burning skid mark. Anyway, number 11, Team Training Wheels. A group of solid player, no plural in their key. I'm going to have to at you for that.
That's a ding.
But hard to stand out without any playmakers. Ooh, rip!
Oh, gee.
All right, Phoenix Rising Emerald. Here we go. Team roster does not seem to cut it. And that's it. That's your Division B power rankings.
All right. I'm going to start it out with Mongoose. Mongoose, give me who you think is the best from each of these divisions. You know the drill.
I don't know how to follow that, but
yeah,
I have Regen Phoenix coming out of the East. Last season, it was kind of a combination of two teams, PFM and the remnants of C Champs Regen Red. So with a season under their belt, I expect them to do really well this season. And I have them losing in the B Grand Finals to You Are Not Alone. Wipeout and Yawners and some NGS veterans. They were kind of fringy BA. So, Key said early favorites in B West, and I think that's true.
Very nice.
I just want to say something. These were Ziltoid's predictions, so I'm just reading them. I want to reiterate for anyone coming here. Key also wrote the comments. Don't get me wrong,
all
it can
keys.
be spicy, but everything was keys. Oh,
yeah. Arthanau, the captain of our production value quality, made a mistake.
Kissed a snake. You know what I mean?
Kissed a snake with a mistake. Big mistake value. Anyways.
Hashtag blame Key trending on Twitter now. Heading to my phone.
Sounds about right. All right. As for me, picks for winning it, I'm going to go with what Mongoose said. You Are Not Alone. Solid group of guys. Sounds like Key's got a pretty good idea what's going on here. I really like them. I over on the B East side of things. I don't know. Jailbait is a returning team. They were a newer roster last season. They're, I think, all returning this season. So I'm gonna give them a little bit of a bump here. I think they got a chance. So I'm gonna give it to them. Best logo out of the B East, I think, is probably Skiggly Wigglies. It's like 1 and 2 really close. I like the bread person in Bread Rising East Sports. I really like that logo. And Skiggly Wigglies. And I like both their names, too. So, that's doing it for me. And then over on the west side, Deviled Kegs has a really cool logo. I really like that. It's simple, yet effective. So, that's it for me. Real Kai, why don't you do some actual analyzing and give us your picks?
Well, so I didn't power rank the whole division or anything, so I just picked the winner. So I don't have much analysis aside from they're clearly 100% correct. Anyway, so B East, I'm picking Indecisive Scrubs. That's the mostly HOTUS roster, 60% HOTUS roster. And they've been doing well in B for 2 or 3 seasons or something at least, so I kind of expect they'll do good again. I don't know. It's boring, but there you go. B West, I'm picking Soak Every Lane. Also pretty much the same reason. Same roster as in the past. They've done well in B before. I think both of these teams were borderline to moving up to A. And so, yeah, I think they'll probably do pretty well in B as a result. So my grand finals pick for the winner, I'm going to give Indecisive Scrubs over Soak Every Lane. But I could go either way on that. I think it'll be pretty close. But I think those two picks are pretty clear favorites for me.
Very nice. Now, Mongoose, you're going to break it down here. You're going to tell me how many calculated throw teams are going to win in Division C East.
Well, it's actually a Division Calculated East, if you didn't know. Renamed.
I didn't. Thank you.
So to start, first of all, I now regret that I did this, and I wish I would have had Key do C, so I could also
Right?
get flamed by Key.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because now that's like a thing, get flamed by Key.
Yeah.
And as always in these preseason predictions, they are completely made up, totally fictional, and 100% biased towards the teams that are returning and that I'm familiar with. If you're a new team, the reality is I have no idea how good you are. So with
Are
all
there
of that
any
in
new
mind,
teams here?
yes, 100%.
Yeah, this is a few.
Yeah,
Okay.
So with all of that in mind, here are my completely incorrect, 100% fictional, totally made up Division C East power.
Oh, yeah,
number
I'm ready.
Yeah, are you ready? Good. Okay.
I'm ready.
Number one, veteran team, returning team, had a little bit of success in B a couple seasons ago, and that is Lubu. Good squad,
Yeah.
veterans team. Expect them to be at the top of C East.
They were B last season, too, right?
Was it last season or the season before they were B? I think it was 2 seasons ago. but-
Recently, they did the 2-season jump, and then they've...
Yeah, I think then they came
Fallen
back
here.
down. I think 2 seasons ago they went D to B and then came back down last season. But
That could be right.
I could be wrong. Forget I said that if I'm wrong. Number 2, Wood League, another veteran team. They were at the top of their division last season, which I think was also C. I think they finished something like 4th overall seeding last season in C East. So expect them to stay at the top of there. Number 3, House of Shea, the team that was dominant in D East all of last season, had a something like 18-3 map record in the V East, came bumped up. This is actually a team that I've known from way back in Chair League, like season 1 and 2. One of my very first casts I ever did was with House of Shea, and they still have like 4 of the same players. So good to see those guys climbing the ladder. Number 4, another team that was here in C last season, kind of right in the middle of the standings, had a nice run in the playoffs, if I remember correctly. That's Difer Vision.
I think they got to the grand finals?
Grand finals. One of these teams pulled an upset, and might have been them.
I think Difer Vision went to the grand finals. I know we have Atlas here in chat, and Mark Zombie, and Joe Zombie. One of them will tell us what's
someone
up.
in chat tell us how good Difer Vision did in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they pulled up some upsets. Number 5, another veteran team. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not making this up, the only team that has been in NGS since season 1, Duritan's Couch.
And real quick, Difer Vision was grand finals Division C last year.
There you go.
Or season.
Awesome. So
C East champs, and it was an upset. It was a big upset.
Yeah, they took out. Who did they take out? C.
They upsetted like half of the bracket.
Yeah,
because they came in as I think an upset, like a dark horse.
Yeah, they were like the 4-5 seed. They weren't like all the way down, but they were kind of in the middle. After that, Duritan's Couch, veteran team. They've always kind of felt their home was C, so here they are. They should be competitive, kind of right in the thick of it. And now the first of many calculated throws. Number 6, the OG calculated throw. Number 7, 2 calculated 2 throw. And now you're getting to the point where a lot of these teams are, really close. Going to be very interchangeable. Number 8, Regen Anomaly. They kind of finish this in just missed the playoffs last season at number 9. But they did improve the roster, and I know they've been working on some stuff in the offseason, so I expect them to improve this season, be closer to the middle of the pack. Number 9, calculated throw, Hanamura Drift, another calculated throw, and a calculated throw team. And the last 3, or 2 of the last 3, Deep Fried Ragnos and Please Clap, new teams that I'm not familiar with, so hard to speculate on them. And lastly, Illa Dancing Queens, a new team, but with some familiar faces. And now C West. Switch my little screens here. Once again, my completely fabricated, made up, and totally inaccurate. Number 1, Arrogant Nephilim, a veteran team. They've been around a long time. They're going to be strong right at the top of the division. A newer team, and I think this is actually Key's team, if I'm not mistaken. Number 2, Vilefin, McGurgle.
I think is he Tide Color or Vilefin?
I don't know. Key.
He's Tide Color, I believe.
Oh, then I lied. Sorry, Key. We're not at you yet.
Please pronounce it again, though.
McGurgle. We'll do it when we get there. We have another one to do.
Maybe
number
he's Vilefin,
3.
I don't know.
We don't know. I'll look it up while we're doing this. Number 3, Division D champion Clouded Minds. A bunch of familiar faces in there with Swing and Tiger and Weenus, of course. Those guys have been steady Eddie improving every season. Expect them to do real solid in C West this season as well. Number 4, Full Meta Jacket, another team that's been around a long time. They've kind of bounced all over in the divisions, but this I think is a nice healthy place for them. I think they're going to win this season more than they're going to lose. And now I have Vilefin up, and Key is not on it. Okay, so that was what I want. Forget Key's not on there. Number 6, my squad would tap that. I'll be honest, I have no idea how good we are, so I put us right in the middle, so I could be not as wrong as I would like. Number
Easy
7.
peasy.
Yeah, that's right. Number 7 is Piecemeal, a team that was very competitive last season in the same division. Number 8, Better Than Bots. Number 9, another team. I don't think that Testa was here last season, but they have returned, sitting at number 9. Number 10, Team Rego Straight Go. And unfortunately, there's Key at number 11, the Tide Collar McGurgles.
Right.
And for the grand finals, I have Lubu taking out Arrogant Nephilim.
Very nice. Alrighty. Slexia. Who's gonna win? Logo. Team name. Go.
Gosh, I don't even know. There's so much going on right now that I'm overstimulated. You know what I mean? So
Lots of
I'm
things.
just gonna make something up right now. Dat Task, though, love the name, always have. That will win. There you go. That will win. Love the name, the logo. Forgot what it looks like.
It's all
That's my
three.
pick. That's it. Easy.
Very nice. You know what? I can't disagree. That's it. I think they're gonna win Div C West. I enjoy their logo. I like just about everything about it. And from the east side, Deep Fried Ragnaros. It's Ragaros? Did they misspell that intentionally?
Like Ragnaros?
Or is it a character count issue?
If there was a team name that was just however Mongoose tried to pronounce Murgles, that would be my pick.
There's no
but,
N
like,
either. It's Ragaros.
Ragaros.
Ragnaros?
Wait, it's not Ragnaros?
No, there's no N.
You are blowing my gosh dang mind right now. You're lying. Hold on.
My heckin' mind.
I'm looking at the NGS site.
No. Ragnaros. Right here. This is how you spell it. It has an N in it. Ragnaros.
Okay. The name Ragnaros does have an N, but their name does not.
Yeah. Duh. I'm
Okay.
wondering why it doesn't have an N.
I mean, I'm wondering too.
Because it's not Ragnaros.
Ryokai, give me the answers. Let me in.
I just want to say something else to add to the confusion.
Perfect.
Yes. Do it.
What?
I don't have anything in mind.
That
Oh.
just
I just wanted to say
seriously
something to
added
add
to
to
the
the
confusion.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. Is that it for Division C, or do we have more to go?
You still have me.
Oh. Why? I am so sorry, Mr. Ryokai. Continue, please.
It's all good.
Let me know. Who's going to win?
So C East, it's confusing me because they're normally like East is on top, but Earth now has it switched. C East, I'm picking Wood League. Mongoose had them at number 2, so that's not like a huge disagreement there or whatever. But they're my pick to win C East. C West, I have a large disagreement with Mongoose because I picked Tidecaller Merkles, who he has at 13
Yes.
or 11. So
That
one
means
of us is wrong, and I am
7.
so happy because it could be either one of us,
That's right.
and we'll never know.
I mean, I could have just been trolling Key inadvertently, and I didn't know.
But I believe in Key, so there you go.
There we go. Alrighty, guys. Let us move right along. and go on to C East. Guys, these are my picks. D East. I'm so used to saying C East, but now I am in D East. That's right. The Nexus Cats are in Division D. We're hoping to make a statement and win some games. So the question on all of your minds, of course, is, are they my number one pick? And the answer is yes, but I'm not that biased. So my official list doesn't have them as number one. My official list has, of course, Probius. Probius has a little bit of a history with the Nexus Cats. Apparently, we were one of their first matches at some point. I forget when we played, but we interviewed them in one of their matches, and they disclosed that we played them with an offlane Rhaegar and just like really shook them. Like, what is NGS even? And they really got motivated to do better, and they are a very, very good team. I think they are going to win Division D East. I think they're going to do it handily. So that's why they're number one. I think they might even win Division D. Hold on. Who do I have? It'll be close. So we have at number 2, Bancho. Returning team, another team that has dropped down from Division C, I believe. Mongoose, I think that's right?
That sounds right.
Sounds right.
Yeah, so it's a returning team. They've been here for as long as I've been in NGS. And they are now in Division D. I think this is going to be a very good season for them. And I think they're much like Nexus Cats. I think they're trying to claw their way back up top. Number 3, we have Zool Gin Distillery. Now they're an established team, been here for a while. They're going to get some wins just like they know how to do. And of course, number 4, this is where I got the Nexus Cats coming at the number 4. They're getting a little bit of a bias bump. I don't care about the haters. That's what they're doing. I'm putting them here at number 4. It's probably a bias thing to put them at 4, but I do think, we are a Division C team. We do have a little bit of a roster change. Again, like I said earlier, I'm on the main roster now. I'm playing in a role that I haven't played in NGS typically. But because of that, we've all kind of put on the afterburners, really trying to pick it up here, making sure that we prove a point that, yes, we didn't do very well in Division C last year, but we're here and we're going to win. So that's why I put us at 4. So yes, it's biased, but I do think we are going to do really well. We really want it this season, so there we are. Number 5 is I Must Feed. I think this is partially, it's Corix from, what team was he on? I don't know. He was on a team last season. I think it's part of a team from last season, and also a team that, oh, sorry. I just noticed that Lulu said, why are we not number 2? I think Bancho and Zul'jin Distillery will obtain more match wins than the Nexus Cats. So the Nexus Cats will be at number 4. That's my answer. Moving right along, though, I Must Feed. I think they're a semi-returning team. They look very strong looking at the roster. Also, Church of Murky, a very good returning team. I think they were Division D last season, but I think they won. They did very well. Coming in at number, I think this is 7, Frankfurters. Now, truth be told, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th picks, I think, are largely interchangeable. I think Frankfurters could be 4th. I think that they could be 5th, 6th. But for right now, completely predicting, I put them at 7. They do have a match win from last night, so maybe I should have put them up a little bit higher. They're a very good team. They're very established. Is very interesting. The next 4 people, I think, are also interchangeable, and they are new teams that they're unproven. We don't know what they're going to be doing. Phoenix Rising Amethyst, Game of Thrones, Team Elite, and One More Fight. Giving Arth a little tough job here by disclosing them all, seeing if he could do it. Can you do it? Maybe, probably. Who knows? Anyways, yeah. So I think all of these teams are newer teams. I think they all have a chance. I think Game of Throws is an interesting team. I think they had a couple tough losses to Frankfurters, and I think they're kind of like what I talked about Probius. They're kind of shook, and I think they're ready to kind of turn around, turn on the afterburners, figure out what they need to do, soak the proper lanes. They, get the rotations down, get their drafts down, the scouting down, those kinds of things. And so I think they're going to be a surprising pick. I wouldn't rule them out of the playoffs. So that's where I'm at with D East. I'm going to mess that up a lot, but we're going with D East here. Now on to D West. Number 1 team is waiting on Cherry. That is, they're not a returning team, I don't think. I know I saw, I thought I saw Cherry in chat. Maybe he can update us. But I just, looking at the roster, think they're going to be very good. They're a sponsored team, so that's always nice. Coming in at 2, I have Bloodfin Murgles. They're getting a little bit of a bump because of being an organization. Also, they have some older NGS teams. Or NGS team members, rather. Sorry, I'm getting like a bajillion and a half pings here, so sorry about that. It's a little distracting. Anyways, coming in at number 3, Bloodbath and Beyond, a returning Div D team. They did fairly well last season. I think they're going to keep it up. The Baddest Dudes, also a returning team, although they did lose 2D Moss. I think that's how you say his name, right, Mongoose?
Yep.
They did lose him, but I think they are going to still do very well. Coming in at 5, Psy Storm. That is, of course, another organization. And apparently these guys have been playing a lot in Heroes Lounge and just playing a lot of semi-competitive HOTS. So that's that. We have Randy Newman right after them, returning team. I think they're going to do well. I'm not going to be able to say this. Ghosts of Yavapai County Municipal Youth.
Chess and swim team.
No, chess, C, and STT. Swim.
Chess club.
Chess club and swim
team. Something.
What's the other T?
I don't know what the other T is.
Technical Institute. I don't know. So that's
We did our best.
Chess club. Well, yeah. So chess club is the CC, and swim team. Maybe. So that's what Aura's saying is team. We the Pepegas is after Ghosts, the Tibians after them, the Spoilers after them, and I'm fortunate that I put Tryhards in the last slot because as of recording, we got the official news that Tryhards are unfortunately having to step out of the competition. So I kind of knew a little bit about the potential that would occur ahead of time. So I planned accordingly. There we go. That's it. All good. All right, guys. Yeah. What do y'all think? Go ahead. Mongoose, tell us what you got.
Well, let me bring up my little list that I took it down. I think go to Slexia. Let me because I accidentally deleted my. Yep, go Slexia, go.
I just like the name We the Papegas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what are we? What year is it? Welcome
100%.
to 2020, right? 2020 is upon us. We have a team with the term Papega in it. I don't even know what their logo looks like, and I can't wait to see it. That's all.
Slexia, cover for me now. I'm ready.
What?
You're just doing that confusing thing, man. It's confusing.
All right. Division D, I've got Bancho in the East, taking out Bloodbath and Beyond, one of my favorite team names in the West.
Very nice. All right, guys. I think that's it. Did we do it? Oh, Ryokai? Did I forget?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it's okay.
He's the silent killer over there.
I blame Mongoose confusing you. So
I'm very confused.
D East, I also picked Bancho, and D West, I also picked Waiting on Cherry. So not too much disagreement there across the panel. And I have Bancho winning it all. So there you go.
Banjo?
Banjo.
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 Very nice.
Banjohanna. Correct.
Banjo.
Banjo.
Really?
Are we banning Cho or banning Joanna? You never know. It's just
The instrument banjo.
or is it the instrument banjo?
It is
Also, so that's it. That wraps up our predictions. I didn't see too many questions in chat, so if you got any, why don't you drop them? But I do have some unfortunate news. We have no highlights. We do have some that have been posted, but not for this episode. I think there's only been about 3 highlights I've seen, and 2 of them were from Nexus Cats. So we'll see what happens there. Anyways, I do have some fun announcements. The NGS Showdown has been rebranded as the NGS Game of the Week. And that's, of course, still going to be on that's going to be on Thursday. It's going to be kind of like the Thursday night football kind of thing, but for NGS, I think it's a really great opportunity. It's always going to be here on the NGS Twitch channel, so that's why subscribing or following are going to be really good options for you to stay up to date with that. And we'll go from there. So for our first NGS Game of the Week, we have 2 teams that have both been duking it out in the Division S qualifiers. They've both come very close to clinching, or clinching, I think would be the correct word. These 2 teams are playing in NGS tomorrow night. So why don't you go ahead and catch that? It's, of course, going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern or 6 p.m. Pacific. That's it.
What
Very
teams?
Nice. Oh.
You didn't mention the team. I was like, okay, who is it?
Hold on.
I know
This
the
is all
teams.
part of the production value.
Is it ACA and
No.
Perfect Gems?
They've already
Is it Rewind and Perfect Gems?
No, it's Regen and Rewind. Sorry, I skipped over
Ooh.
that.
That should
My
actually
bad.
be a really good game. That'll be a really good game.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I think it's on the NGS Game of the Week. I'm going to call it NGS Showdown at least once. I'm so sorry ahead of time. All right, guys. So let us move on to Edge questions. We've had a couple ahead of time. I'm looking in chat. Lulu has a question/comment. She said, looking for a player to replace Turd Herder on the Nexus Cats, effective immediately. Wow.
Rip.
Maybe that's what I'm getting pinged about right now. Is being kicked off my own team. All right, Edge questions. Let's start us off with a fun one, guys. It's been a little serious. We've been talking about predictions, which are super serious business. How many sushi rolls can you eat in one sitting? And this question, of course, is coming to us from our very own Weenus. Slexia started out. How many sushi rolls can you eat in there?
So sushi gives me this weird like high. Have you ever had that after eating sushi where you're just like out of it? I think it's from all the carbs in the rice. No, you've never felt like I can't do this. Like, whoa. Didn't answer the question. My answer, because of the after effects of maybe the mercury, I'm guessing, I have no idea, would be like 2.5. Now, if it's like a deep fried one, you know, those ones that have like all those like sauces on them, like probably 2. I don't know. Don't ask me stuff like that, Weenus. God.
All right, and Mongoose.
Most in one sitting? Oh, I don't know. Probably 6 or so if I were to guess.
I'm thinking 6 myself.
Yeah.
What?
You get to 5 and you think you can do another 5, but you can't. You can't.
I went
You
to
can only
an
do
all-you-can-eat sushi place out here, and I actually felt like I was gonna have to be hospitalized. It was
all right. And here's like a little wrinkle, like a little asterisk. I live in the Midwest. How fresh is that raw fish?
Sushi's questionable where I
Yeah.
live.
It's probably not fish. It's not. Maybe. So that's where I'm coming from. I don't know. I'm thinking 6. Real Kai, what about you? What do you got?
I'm gonna be the buzzkill and say that I don't actually like sushi that much, so I would say 0 if I was being honest. But
I thought there was a wrong answer, and then I
Yeah,
heard
I
your
know.
answer.
There you go.
So,
There's definitely a wrong answer.
all right. So let's get into a serious question. This one I'm just going to kind of throw up there. Will Deathwing be viable in NGS, like in competitive play?
Oh my god, what the hell? What's going on?
Either one of you.
Ryokai, you
Anyone.
were making hand motions. I'm like,
No.
all right, Ryokai's got an answer.
As she came out, no.
Yeah.
No? I mean, I'm thinking
she
no.
needs changes. I don't know what they'll do, but no, currently.
Yeah.
Why
Lexi, have you tried
not?
out? No.
I haven't played Deathwing because I have no interest. But I've played against Deathwing. I think that maybe, depending on the map, as the hero gets tuned differently, as it stands now, excellent in ARAMs, really oppressive, you know what I mean? But as far as competitive play, like, I think so, maybe.
I think the only way you would see Deathwing as anything close to a good pick right now is kind of that last pick, no counters ready on the other team. Then maybe, but there's so many things that counter Deathwing right now. I don't think as the release hero is. No.
Yeah, so she doesn't have the CC or engage or anything to be a main tank. And then they just made a whole bunch of XP changes that mean her offlane isn't as good as it would be because you're just going to take a whole bunch of damage when you go in for the globes. And at first, when I saw her like kit and everything, I'm like, okay, she has a lot of AoE, she'll be good at wave clear. But then they just tacked on this like, by the way, you don't do damage to minions. You only do damage to heroes.
I'm sorry.
You do damage, but like it's lowered basically. So they killed her wave clear. So I was thinking
talking about real things. I have a not real thing to talk about.
Go ahead.
Are you using she?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
It's a he.
That's what I would. Deathwing's a he.
Okay.
A dragon aspect and
like
human.
I can show you.
I'm
like-
not gonna
I consciously know that, but I
gender.
also like didn't realize I was saying she. So I don't know why my brain was doing that.
Cool.
It's weird.
Cool.
That's a
Okay,
reasonable
well, I
question.
thought-
And now I'm confused at myself.
Like, I kind of tuned out and I came back and I'm like, he's saying she. Who's he
that's
talking
fair.
about? Is it Kira?
I don't know.
Is he talking about Kira?
You know what this means, turd?
What?
You've actually overdone Ryokai here. You know something that he doesn't about HOTS.
Call me the Ryokai World Slayer.
Yikes! Someone's gonna have to. I mean,
I'm kidding, Ryokai. You know way more than me.
Well, anyway,
including-
I was gonna say is that I thought she could work as he. I don't know why my brain is doing that.
Did you mean he?
It's so like instinctive. Like, okay, anyway, I
It's all
thought
good,
he
brother.
would work as an offlaner, but then they killed the minion damage, so he does. Okay, I got it, nailed it.
Not a problem. Okay. I got one more question. This one comes from Aura. It's a question that I kind of want to answer. So I'm just going to... Edge question. Every season brings in new players and teams alike. What words of wisdom would you give to new people in NGS? What about people who are completely new to competitive? So I'll open it up after I kind of say a couple things, but I think the biggest thing is stick through it. I remember my first season, it was with me and a bunch of real life friends. We were very successful. I think we were okay. We did okay. When we started losing towards the end of the season, we kind of started losing it. You know, there's a lot of internal problems. Why did you pick that here? Why didn't you do this stun? That's going to kill your team. Stick through it. It's a team game. No one player is making mistakes. No one player is the reason you lost. Probably. No draft is the reason you lost. No ban is the reason you lost. Stick with it. Keep trying. Reach out to people who are in higher divisions. See if they'll sit down with a single replay. Hey, we played this game. We thought we did well, but we lost. What can we do to improve? Can you watch it? Ask maybe if there's anyone that can coach you guys. There's a lot of things that you can do to improve. And I don't think just being in Storm League, you intuitively know how to go to the next level. And I think that's one thing that if you're new and you're watching this, which I hope you are, I think you just got to stick with it. Reach out for help. I'm always available. If I can't help you because I'm in a Division D, I'm not a very good player. I can help you get in touch with people that can help you. Ryokai's here. I don't know if he'll open his DMs the same way, but he's a very knowledgeable person. Mongoose is knowledgeable. Slexy is knowledgeable. Everyone that I know in NGS, if someone came to them with a problem, they would be at least receptive to helping, if not kind of showing them who else can help. So, that would be my words of suggestion. Oh yeah, and Aura reminded me that Division mods are also a very, very good resource. They've all been in NGS for quite a while, and if they don't know the answer, they too can direct you to where to go. So that's my spiel. Anything to add, guys?
Nope.
If you're an actual brand new player, brand new team to competitive, never done NGS, never done Heroes Lounge or any of the other ones, and you're coming in fresh from Quick Match and Storm League, I think you got to keep in mind that 5-on-5 organized HOTS is how the game was meant to be played, and it's different than jumping into pug games. So
Right.
you need to be patient with it. There's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. The first season is always the hardest.
Yeah.
And once you get past that, you'll be fine. Enjoy being casted. Enjoy meeting new people and having teammates. And what you said, Turd, is perfect. There's a lot of really friendly community members of all skill levels. But if you find one of the guys in a division or two above you, or gals, who's willing to take you under their wing and show you the ropes, that any kind of coaching or guidance like that is really invaluable.
Very nice. Ryokai, anything?
Well, I mean, I would echo what Mongoose said for the most part. Yeah, playing HOTS as a team is basically a completely different game to playing Storm League, and it's a better game because it's way more fun. So
Yes.
stick with it.
Yeah.
Find teammates that you can enjoy playing with, and you will have way more fun doing this. I highly recommend it. Stick with it. Yeah, all of the above. I mean, I would say my DMs are open pretty much, and I was actually gonna put a coasting wow, my brain.
What is it, a coaching request or whatever?
Coaching paste thing, yeah. I was gonna put that in. With the XP changes, I'm a little bit less confident doing that just yet, because I kind of
Do
need
they
to figure
really
out stuff
change
myself.
anything? Hashtag, do they?
I don't know how much it changed. That's kind of the first issue.
I will
So-
say I've only played 3 games as Johanna since then, and playing as Johanna in them has been zero change for me whatsoever.
Yeah,
I
certain
run
things
into the
are really
wave and
similar,
grab
certain things are
everything and leave.
different. Depending on your question, I might be more help than or not. So I don't know, but I'll at least do my best to help you. Let me put it that way, and my DMs are open. So, yeah, at some point I will probably put up a coaching thing later in the season once I've got that more figured out and gotten myself settled on my team a little bit more. But yeah, other than that, yeah, stick through it, have fun. Don't worry about winning or losing. I think. Oh, my other recommendation is ironically try and scrim a lot, because then you don't care about the results and you can experiment and figure things out a lot faster. And my number one tip is just copy what the other guys are doing. And if it works against you, it'll work against somebody that isn't you, because somebody else is going to be exactly like you. So copy the other stuff.
Does that mean main tank Uther?
Well,
Yes.
wait, let's not get crazy, okay?
I mean,
if it works, it works. That's the other thing.
Exactly.
A lot of things, there might be the perfect quote meta comp, but if it works for you, it works for you. Do it. Spam it. Make fun. Focus on your stuff. See what happens, and have fun. That's important. Let the heroic folks get sweaty. All right, guys. I think that's it. It's about 9:30 where I live. It's past my bedtime, so I gotta wrap this thing up. I would like to thank all of my panelists: Slexia,
yes, sir.
Mongoose, Ryokai. Awesome. Right after we say goodbye, we're going to be rating Bahamut, who's just starting up the Dat Task, though, versus Can't Counterpick Stupid. I know there was a name that Velcomer wanted me to call that match. Don't have enough time to look it up. Sorry, bud. Next time. So, with that, this is Turd Herder here saying adios, amigos. Remember to stay safe in the Nexus and take your hots to the edge. Stick around for the raid. It's a lot more awkward. I'll just wiggle my fingers.
You got to kill 45 seconds of airtime? What's
Yeah,
that?
right.